Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me? Let me mess with this real quick. Let me see if this is better off. Can't tell one way or the other, right? Yeah, can't tell one way or the other, and I don't like the bright in my face, so we'll just go with that. So, wanted to hop on and do it live. We got Masters Saturday. I know most of you have probably had a wonderful day watching the Masters. It's been a really good one so far. But I just wanted to open a live up and see on a Saturday night if anyone had any questions. Love doing these lives. I know a lot of you like it when I do them as well. So, a couple things to go over before we get into this. Um, the next golf ball to be reviewed is the Titleist True Feel. And then after that will be the Tour Response 2025. I made a mistake. I laugh about it now, but I was not laughing yesterday, I'll tell you. For the first time, I made this mistake, but over the course of last year, it's the 2024 True Feel model. I've collected a variety of them and had them ready to go. Picked my favorite ones that were, pristine. I actually ended up getting some new ones from a guy that had his company logo, but they were new in the box. And so I was like, okay, that's the one I want to test for sure. So finally had them, finally tested them, did the test, did the editing, did the whole video, 6 hours, 7 hours, something ridiculous. I go to do the quality control check, which is where I watch the video after it's processed, and I notice something. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, the alignment tool doesn't look right. And so I go in, I tested the 2022 model. And I was so mad because I didn't catch that until the end. Well, I mean, I guess I caught it in quality control, so I guess that worked. That's why it's there. But beyond upset, couldn't believe I wasted the time. That was supposed to come out last night, but obviously now I have to order. First of all, I have to order the 24 model because I don't have any. I went through all the boxes I had. I must have had 20 to 30 True Feel models. None of them were the 24 edition. None of them. So I guess people just don't buy the 24 edition. So then I went to work today, and we have, a little collection of golf balls where like people leave them or whatever. And obviously I wouldn't test a used one, but I just wanted to see if they had one too. They didn't either. They had the old ones. They had like three or four of the old ones. And so I can't ever recall seeing a 2024 in the wild, like actually holding one in my hand. So I don't know if people just quit buying them. I don't know. That was weird. But anyway, I was embarrassed. I was upset, and there's nothing I could do except eat it. So I ordered the 24 versions. They came in today, and now I'm doing the testing, and that should be in the next couple days. So sorry for the delay, but that's another reason I wanted to do the live. Um, Hey, thank you, Josh. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the comment. Appreciate the love. Thank you so much. So that's part of that. It's just been rough. I think I tore a muscle in my back, and so that's been really difficult to test golf balls in, and that's been a whole new experience. I've had extreme discomfort in the lower right side of my back now for 10 days, and I've never been injured in my life. I've never broken a bone, never nothing. And usually when something like that happens with your back, granted I'm on now the plus side of 30, so you start to see the little signs here and there, but most of the time it's only a day or two, and then this has been like 10 days, and so I'm beginning to think I absolutely strained it or tore something. So that's made testing more difficult too. But you know what? I can swing a golf club. You'd be surprised how I thought the back was involved much more in the golf swing than it actually is. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's involved, but I thought there's no way I'm going to be able to swing a golf club. You can. You can. I mean, it kind of hurts, especially the finish. The finish is what gets me because it's my right side. So when you twist, it's that side. But I learned to just kind of hit down and just kind of not follow through all the way, but just kind of follow through halfway. And I'm getting there. You have to alternate the swing, but it's good. But other than that, channel's going really well. Everything's doing really great. I love the new models that we're testing. I love the new format as well. I love the condensed time. I'm actually getting it within 15 minutes. That's really cool too. So I love that a lot. When's the best golf ball on the market Nitro review coming out? I'll do the Nitro Distance this year. I already did the Nitro Pulsar. That thing was awful. But I'll do the distance golf ball sometime this year. It's just not high on my list. I don't get a lot of requests for it, unfortunately. But they said Rory's using a softer ball. Do you know what he's using? I'm pretty sure he's just using the regular TP5. I don't think he's using anything different, but they change the TP5 every single year. So it's just different now. But he puts traditionally way too much spin on the golf ball. So he now plays the TP5, and the TP5 has a lot less spin than the X for sure. So that's why he's playing it. Yeah, that. Sorry, Kevin, I didn't even see your comment, but yeah, you're correct, Kevin. That's exactly right. So yeah, no, Saturday night I have my apple juice. That's what it is, I swear. And how about the Masters? Rory to me is. I kind of thought about this today. Rory to me is the Eli Manning of golf lately. And if you're not familiar with that reference, Eli Manning is a quarterback for the NFL for the New York Giants. I believe, he's either a Hall of Famer, he's going to be a Hall of Famer, he's all time. Beat Tom Brady twice in the playoffs, but he's known for being a hot and cold quarterback. Like he's known as being either the coldest or the hottest. He can come out and throw, he had 2 Super Bowl performances and beat Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. But then there's also a lot of games mixed in there. There's a lot of 9-7 seasons where Eli would throw 3-4 picks a game and you'd be like, what's going on? When I saw that first round from Rory and he was 4 under and he double bogeyed 2 of the last 3 holes or whatever, and then he went back to even, I kind of ruled him out. I was just like, you know what? He just doesn't have what it takes. He just doesn't. And, that because traditionally, if I look back at what he's done, that's what he does. He can put the pieces together for a while, but then there's just that one hole or that, there's 2 holes and everything he worked, it's like par, 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 birdie, par, 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 birdie, par, par. And then there's a double bogey in there and all that's erased. And it's like, I really thought he was out of it. And then he followed it up like any professional golfer should, with a 6 under, and then turned around and did another 6 under. And now is it 6? Yeah, 6 under, another 6 under. So now he's leading. And I'm blown away by that because, again, he can be extremely hot. He can be the best golfer on the course. And then the next day he can be the worst. And no one bats an eyelash. No one's like, everyone goes, oh, yeah, that's Rory, he had a bad day. Or, oh, hey, Rory had a great day. But, no one's surprised by it. And that's why I use that reference. But I hope he wins one finally. I would love for him to win one. But he's 2 strokes ahead. It looks like Justin Rose has completely just gave it away, after shooting a 7 under the first day. I mean, what are you doing, man? You're in the driver's seat, buddy. I don't like Patrick Reed being up there. I'd like to see him come down a little bit. DeChambeau would be kind of cool. I mean, DeChambeau, I root for him. I mean, of course, I didn't get to see much today because I worked and then I golfed after work, so I didn't get to see what the heck happened to there's Rom. Oh, Bubba's actually in it? That's not bad. He made the cut. I must have missed. There he is, Scheffler. Okay, Scheffler's still 5 under. He's probably not in it anymore. I mean, you'd have to shoot ridiculous. Actually, I'll be honest with you. With going into Sunday at 12 under and 10 under and 8 under, I think it's a 3-person race. I don't think Reed. I don't think anyone tied 4th and beyond has a chance. I think flat out it's going to be one of those 3. Connors. He'd have to have a heck of a day. I think this is between McIlroy and DeChambeau, and I hope McIlroy holds on. I really do. I'd love to see him finally win one. I think DeChambeau's got plenty of years left. I think he could win one. But Rory, after having that horrific first day, I would love to see him come back and, you know what? Fire another 6 under tomorrow. Make it 18. Do a 6 under, 6 under, and 6 under. Yep. I'm glad to see him. Ryan Bryson should be a lot of fun tomorrow. Yes. Also just bought a dozen of the Q-Star Ulti Speed, new for 25. Yeah, I don't have that one yet, Kevin. If you'd be willing to send them to me, I would gladly take them and use them for a review. I've actually had a ton of requests over that the last few days. The amount of emails and comments about that Ulti Speed, it's been crazy. So I knew I had to get my hands on it. I was getting ready to pull the trigger, but if you have one you'd be willing to mail, I would really appreciate that. You guys are the best at that. I get so many golf balls from you all, and I love it. Yeah, Rory v. Bryson, that's good. You know what? And that's what that's what golf needed too. You know, all this PGA and live stuff. I think everyone was really hungry. I don't know about you guys, but me, I was really hungry for a good golf storyline or headline, you know, something like this, you know. And I think tomorrow McIlroy versus DeChambeau is going to be. I think they'll play in the same group too, so that's going to be fun. That's going to be really fun. I can cash out Bryson for $20 on a $5 bet and roll with Rory for a $50 win. I'm a high roller, I know, just to have some fun stakes. That's pretty good, though. I mean, to get those bets in there. I usually don't bet until the final day because you can usually, the way I do it is I'll take the 5 guys who are in the running and I'll bet like $5 on each of them. And then usually if the guy who's favored wins, I win my money back. But then if any of the other ones win, I win a bonus. I didn't do that this time because, like I said, I think it's only a 2-person race. So, I mean, it's only going to be one of the 2 of them. So I really do hope it's Rory, though. But again, would I be surprised if Rory puts up an even par round and DeChambeau does 3 under and wins? I won't be surprised at all. That's Rory. He could do it. So I don't know. It is what it is. Guys, feel free to ask any questions about anything. That's how these Q&As are. You're welcome to ask any question you'd like about golf, life, golf balls, golf equipment, whatever. It don't matter. It don't matter. Schauffele, 2 under, Morikawa. I'm just glad Bubba made the cut. That's good for him, you know. I mean, it's good to just see him doing anything anymore. Justin had a rough day, 4 over. Gosh. Another hot and cold golfer. You know, another hot and cold golfer, Justin. Not to the degree that Rory is, but Justin can be very hot and cold. Kevin, I do. What you'll want to do is just shoot me an email at golfballaddict@gmail.com, and I'll give it to you on there, and then we'll do it that way. All you got to do is just send me a message and just say address or whatever, and we'll go it that way. Is Bryson still playing a left dash? He was testing some others. I think he is still playing a left dash. I think he is. He's an innovator, and he's not one to follow the crowd. And so I'm sure he's looking to replace that golf ball with something else. I don't know what he'll find, but who knows? I wouldn't be surprised with him. He could come out and be like, "Oh, I found this ball that was, you know, sold to me in the back alleys of Japan, and it's, you know, technically legal." But anyway, that's him. So we'll see. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you. But yeah, the last 2 reviews we've done have been really, really good. I appreciate everyone's support through that. The channel was kind of bleeding there for a minute, and that was my fault. That was nobody's fault but my own, you know, just not life getting in the way and me not giving it the attention it deserved. And then sure enough, I came out with those 2 reviews. I did the Kirkland versus the Members Mark. That one was really good. And then the Triad's been really good. And that Amazon video really helped as well, just the kind of, you know, the reviewing the Amazon, that sales list. And so now there's been a lot of new people come to the channel. We appreciate you all. I love all the new people. And I'm getting comments from everybody, you know, old members, new members. We're getting new people it's just awesome. So I really appreciate all the love and support. You guys have been really great. Yeah, speaking of the Ulti-Speed, I just looked at my 3 most recent comments. Ulti-Speed, Ulti-Speed, Ulti-Speed. Like, everyone wants that Ulti-Speed reviewed, so. After the True Feel and the Tour Response, I think I'm going to do the new Bridgestone E12 lineup. I've already got the balls tested. I've got 3 of them in front of me here. I think I'm going to combine them all into one video just to kind of showcase. I can put all the numbers side by side. But if you're not aware, the Bridgestone E12, one of my least favorite golf balls of all time by far, they rebranded this year. They came out with, instead of 1 new model, 3 new models. They have the E12 Speed, the E12 high launch, obviously to get up high launch, and then the E12 straight, which the straight has that dimple pattern that the old E12 had on it. Not a fan of that. Don't like the feel, but I want to combine all three of those into a video so I can show you, and I think that'll be cool too. So that's coming after that. And then as soon as I get my hands on the Alti Speed, I'll just move that one to the front because obvious reason. Rory's driving performance these 4 days has been off the charts. Yeah, it has. It's every time I watch that dude off the tee, he's just hitting straight up swamp donkey missiles straight down the fairway. I mean, I can't. It's insane, and that's the difference. That's the difference. When he's on with that, and he's got that going, 600 is nothing for him. Bought Cut Blue, $16 Amazon. Yeah, which by the way, Cut Blue has a new model, which is weird because someone had sent me and said, hey, a new Cut Blue's coming out. And I said, oh, cool. I'll be on the lookout for it because I'm glad they need to update that because yes, you're right. It does cut. And I did see a Facebook ad that said, try the new Cut Blue. And so I clicked on it and it takes you to a page and it says, oh yeah, we've updated it 2025. And I'm like, oh, cool. Well, let me see if they updated any of their other models. If you go to Cut's website and you just look for the 2025 version, you can't find it. The only way I can find the 2025 version is if I see that ad and I click on it. Otherwise, I don't know how to get there. And so I don't know if they're just like doing a soft launch to like get some feedback. I mean, that'd be possible. I don't know. I know they're probably not really happy with me based on how the reviews went last year. I wish they would have sent one to me because I gladly would have reviewed it, but I don't think they're happy about how the reviews went last year. So probably why I didn't get a call, but that's okay. You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to be honest. Have you tried going to the Masters? No, I haven't tried because every time, I see the memes every year where people are like, oh, you can get a day pass for $3,000. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I bet you can. Yeah. At this point, I'd like to have a ticket just so I could put it on the market and just see if someone would buy it for $5,000. But that's on the bucket list for sure. I'd love to do that. It's such a beautiful course. Being there would be just incredible because the way they make it look on TV, and obviously a lot of that's fake. Like you hear the birds chirping and you hear like the nature noises. That's all pumped. I know that. And I've been told that, but it's still just cool. You can tell everyone there's having a good time. And I'll tell you what, I would kill to be able to taste that pimento cheese. Just one bite. That's all I want, a nibble. Like someone can take a bite of it and like half of it, like a little piece of it just fall off on the ground. I'll eat that piece. I don't care. I have to know what that pimento cheese tastes like because I love pimento and I hear it's killer and it's only $1.50. So I guess I wouldn't have to eat someone's leftovers then because it's $1.50 or whatever. Or maybe it went up to $2, but someone told me you could do a taste of the Masters. Like someone told me you can order the Masters food, like to do it at home or whatever. I don't know if that's true or not. I've never. Yeah, no, you can. Taste of the Masters. It's on the actual website, and it's you can basically order the pimento cheese, the pork barbecue, the egg salad. They send it all to you, and then when you're watching the Masters, you can have it at home. That's pretty cool. They're all sold out. This one has like tequila. It's a limited edition. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it was really funny. I'm having a watch party, a little tiny watch party tomorrow for the final round. And my wife's like, okay, well, we're going to make food and stuff. What do you want? And I said, pimento cheese. And she goes, for what? And I was like, that's a Masters thing. I said, it's a pimento cheese sandwich. And she was confused, obviously. If any of you have wives and stuff, you know how it is. But she was like, okay. And I'm like, they're $1.50. You don't understand. That's all you have to pay is $1.50. You could buy like 3 of them or 4 of them or whatever, and she didn't get it. But anyway, so I'm going to be making those tomorrow. Did you ever hit a super hybrid? I got a killer deal on the Paradigm 3 Super, only hybrid I've ever had luck with. love long irons personally. I've always liked hybrids a lot. I have learned to hit my new 4 iron pretty well. I'm actually surprised how fast I picked it up, but it's definitely not the most forgiving thing. I don't know. I apologize. I don't know what a super hybrid is. So give me 1 second here to do a little Google. Okay, so super hybrid. What's the difference between? There's a movie called Super Hybrid that did not do very well on IMDb. Is this the longest hybrid ever? Never testing. Okay, does anyone know? Like, does anyone know what the difference between a super hybrid and a hybrid is? I mean, it looks like Callaway is the only one that makes one, so it just must be a Callaway thing. It just must be marketing from Callaway. But I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Callaway woods are and have been phenomenal for a very long time. Ah, okay. You're right. Yeah, Callaway thing, basically an oversized hybrid, all the tech. Okay, cool. No, I hadn't heard of one. I'm sure it's great. I I don't want to give anything away, but I had it in the works where I was going to see about adding a fairway wood into the testing. That's still in play, but it's taking way longer than I thought. Like I thought it was going to be like 2 weeks ago, and now all of a sudden it's been 2 weeks, and I'm like, is this still happening? Anyway, I don't want to give anything away, but hopefully I'll know more in the next couple days. But I think eventually I'm going to be able to fit a fairway wood into testing, but I'll know more in a couple days, so we'll come back to that. But oh my goodness, got some comments rolling in now. I worked for the 2024 PGA Championship and can confirm the Burbs are pumped in. I've never heard them once. Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry, it's really hot in here, and there's like no airflow. Um, yeah, the birds and all that. Well, and not only that, but the birds are over exaggerated. The next time you listen to the birds when you're watching the Masters, like tomorrow, really pay attention to them because it's not just like occasionally you hear a tweedledee, or anything like that. I was watching the other day and like the birds started like singing melodies. It was like tweedledee, and I was like, what in the heck is it even? Like it went on for like 2 minutes straight, and I was like, that doesn't even happen in the wild. It was almost like the sound guy clicked it on and then like got to talking to his buddy or whatever, his coworker, and then was like, oh crap, I gotta, like it just, you can tell it was really pumped in and fake. And I was like looking at my watch. I think it ended up at like 2 minutes and 20 seconds or something of continuous bird just tweedledee. Oh yeah, you couldn't even keep up. Like the bird would be out of breath. TaylorMade Tour Response is supposed to be using the same core technology as the TP5. When is your review? So it will be not this next one. That's the Titleist True Feel, but then it'll be the one after that. So probably a week. Probably a week is when the review will be released. I think it's a lower loft and larger head. Yep. Okay. Yep. I think that's what it is too. So it's a Callaway thing. That's kind of cool. I'll have to look more into that. Been looking into buying that Sim 2 Max Driver. 300 is a great price. Is it? Is it a great price? Because my understanding, hold on. Oh, okay. It's only 2 years old. Never mind. That's not the end of the world. Well, no, hold on. Sim 2, yeah. Yeah, no, because there was Stealth after that. So that's a 4-year-old driver. I'm trying to see the release. Yeah, okay. So I'm showing that driver's 4 years old. That's what I thought. Is 300 a great price for a 4-year-old driver? I would make the argument it isn't. I now keep in mind I'm a value guy. I mean, if you're a specific fan of that driver, then that's one thing. But like, I got a 2022 Cobra LTDX, which keep in mind that my Golf Spy called that the number fifth, the fifth greatest driver of all time. Not my words, their words. I got it a year ago, about 8 months ago, for $190 new from Rock Bottom Golf. And that's what I've been using in my bag ever since. Like, to me, that's a great price because that's that at the time that was only 2 years old, 190 bucks, brand new. That's a great price. I don't know about 300 for something that's 4 years old. I just feel like there's other ones I could look at. But again, it's a great driver. There's nothing against it. Yep, gonna test the new Z Star for sure. Yeah, Sim, Stealth, QI. Yeah, and there was a Sim 2, a Stealth 2, if I'm correct, and then QI 10, QI 35. Correct, correct. So yeah, 4 years ago. So I don't know. I think there's a better deal out there. In comparison to $600, yes, that's half off for sure. Yeah, for sure. But I do think if you scour some different places, you can find a really good look for those brands that don't hold their value well because Cobra's always been that way. You know, Cobra, they came out with those 3D printed putters, and when it was time to end the season and come out with the new models, those putters went from $300 down to like 80. I mean, like when they were clearancing them out, they were just clearancing them out. And it wasn't like they were bad putters. They were great putters. But Cobra, for some reason, is like when they're ready to end a season, they're ready to end it. They're like, get it out of here. I don't want it. They know what clearance is. Callaway and TaylorMade are more like, oh, yeah, we have an 8-year-old driver, but it's still good. So 250, and I've just never liked them that much, unfortunately. I just got a Stealth 2 for 160 on eBay. I'm a lefty, so sometimes that works in my favor. Yeah, I'm sure it does, actually. Yeah, I'm sure it does. That's awesome. Also, if you use like a specific shaft, if you use a senior shaft, that really helps you out too. Because when I'm looking at a lot of these drivers on next round, second swing and stuff, a lot of them, I'll see a great price and I'll be like, oh my goodness, I have to have it. And then it's like, oh, senior shaft only. And I'm like, sometimes it pays to be old. John, that sounds so cool. Motorbike Taxi is here to go to breakfast. What a life, man. John is a real OG. He's a trooper, man. John been here for a long time, commenting on every single video. He is one of my most loyal subscribers by far. And he lives in, I believe, Thailand. And if I'm if I remember correctly, I'm sure I do, John, because you mention it all the time. But yeah, sure enough, the motorbike taxi to go to breakfast. That sounds nice. Most mail order golf balls, including Vice, made in Taiwan. Tariffs will up the prices. Yeah, Titleist and TaylorMade have plants in the U.S. Yeah, and you know what? That's the ball will be in Titleist's court to see how they handle that. Because most of their golf balls, Titleist, are overpriced, and they're usually the most expensive on the market. And I haven't found a good reason for that other than they're made in the US. So, I mean, and that has a little bit of play. It doesn't have a ton of play, but it has a little bit of play. So we'll see how they handle that. I think the best thing that Titleist can do is come out with a marketing campaign that says, hey, made in the USA and has been for X amount of years, you know, print the American flag on everything, I guess, just again to get, your Patriots and stuff, but also don't change your prices. Just keep them where they're at because we have to see where the rest of the market goes. And if the rest of the market does start to skyrise and all of a sudden Titleist becomes a little bit of a value, that could completely change the market. So we'll see. I don't know if it will or not, but that's legit. So now if Titleist says, "Oh, we'll raise our prices too because we can get away with it," well, yeah, okay. Let's see. Bought SimMax about 3 months ago, purely based on everyone's comments. There's something special about that club. Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, as long as it's good. Yeah, I mean, if price is relative, so if $300 and you're in love with it and it really does change your game, it's worth it, 100%. Okay. Can you quickly recap your thoughts on the Callaway Super Soft Max? I remember you liked one of the Super Softs but didn't rate it. The other, yeah. So that was weird. That was really weird. So the Super Soft, the regular, is not my cup of tea. It's way too dead. No pop off the club. Don't like how it feels. Numbers are subpar. I know a lot of people like it for slower swing speeds. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. The Super Soft Max, completely different. Has some spring off the club. Has a high launch. It's easy to get in the air. It goes so much farther. I mean, I had the numbers side by side for a while, and it was night and day. I mean, the Max went like 7 to 10 yards further or something. It was just ridiculous. So the Max is awesome. My mom uses the lady version of the Max, which is the Riva, and she loves it. And it really is good for her game. She's a slower swinger, and she has a lot of success with that golf ball, getting it up in the air, getting it to go really far, having a lot of forgiveness. So for some reason, the Max, 2 thumbs up. The regular Super Soft, 2 thumbs down. I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but it was crazy. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, and I couldn't tell you why either. Maybe just the larger core. Maybe it does have something to do with it. I don't know. But if I find a Callaway Max and I'm like going over water, I don't want to lose a ball, I will play it. Absolutely. Going forward, do you prefer to rate golf balls with shoes on or shoes off? Well, I prefer shoes off. I like being barefoot. Like, obviously, you guys can see, like, I have ghostly, Casper the Friendly Ghost type feet. Like, and I like to get them some sun. And that's why most of the time, if I'm outside, I'm just trying to, be barefoot. And I use it for grounding too. But there are some people that just genuinely don't like seeing someone barefoot. And I get it. I could probably get away with that back when I only had 1,000 subscribers or 5,000 subscribers. But now that I'm almost at 20, I got to realize that I probably just need to wear shoes. I wear Crocs now just to kind of be funny because, hey, I'm wearing shoes. You asked for shoes, I got them. But, that way I'm still kind of comfortable in them or whatever. They got, the weird gibbets or whatever on them, but just to be funny. But no, if all 17,000 people told me like, hey, man, go shoeless, let the dogs eat, I'd let them out for sure. Are you going to test the 2 new models of the Sugar Ball? Yes. I actually was in communication with Sugar Golf yesterday. They have sent me, I'm receiving them, I think Monday. Monday's when the shipment comes in. I'm getting their 2-piece model, their 4-piece model, and then I also still have their 3-piece model from when they sent it to me, at the end of last year. So I'll do a video on all 3 of those. I might combine them all again, or we'll see. I might do them separate. Depends on what's easiest, but definitely got some sugar reviews coming very soon. I'm excited about that. I'm glad they came back. So hopefully they're up to par. I got paired up with a barefoot guy. Now listen, let's make something abundantly clear. I don't play golf barefoot. If I went to a golf course, I'm dressed professionally, I promise you, because that's a whole different thing. You're going usually to a country club. There's other golfers there, and I'm not stuck up to where I'm like, oh, hats off in the club. I'm not like old school, but I do think you should dress up a little. You know what I mean? We don't dress up for anything anymore. Like as a society, we don't wear suits. We don't wear, I when I worked at Men's Warehouse in the suit department, I had dads come in and ask me all the time, yeah, my daughter's getting married. Can I wear like shorts and flip flops? Like, do you have a dress flip flop? And I'm serious. I got that question all the time, and it drives me nuts. It's like, dude, you have to dress up once every 5 years. Once every 5 years, you have to look nice and actually wear something that you don't want to wear. I know shorts and your Tommy Bahama t-shirt's more comfortable. One time in like 5 years, you have to dress up, and you're sitting here like, well, do you have a dress flip flop? And do I have to, can I go shirtless? Can I wear swim trunks? No, your daughter's getting married. Like, and anyway, so I believe that golf is still one of those things that I get to dress up for. I wear the clothing. I wear the nice polo. I button it up. This one's buttoned up all the way, but I button up most of the way. I have a belt. You can see it. My shirt's tucked in. I dress up for that, and it's still really casual because you're shorts and a polo, but you know, and I'm all about something funny on the hat. I'm something, you know, I'm funny the shirts, you know, that are kind of provocative. I'm cool with all that, but I just think you should dress up a little. I don't go to a course and play barefoot. I would never do that. Like that's to me, that's taboo. I'd be like, get some shoes on, bro. What are we doing? This ain't the beach. Yeah. I like your new video showing dispersion. Thank you. For me, that's very important. One reason I like to try it. Yeah, and so far it's off to a great start. You know, I didn't know if showing that was going to be good or bad. It was kind of a testing thing, but I've already seen some golf balls that are significantly different. When I was doing the Triad 20, or I'm sorry, the True Field 22, the wrong one, the one that's useless, it had really bad dispersion. And I mean, I actually put it up side by side with the Triad one, and you could clearly see the difference. I mean, the Triad was just tight and everything real close, and the other one was all over the place. And obviously, as a human testing and not a robot testing, yeah, some of that has to be taken with a grain of salt, but it still gives you a pretty good idea. I mean, if you play with golf ball A and everything's on the green, and you play with golf ball B and, you know, half of them are on the green and the other are around the green, that'll give you a pretty good idea. You know, I mean, is it likely that half of your shots with the other golf ball were that bad? Probably not. Maybe a couple, sure, but not that many. Yeah, I appreciate that, Craig. You know, it's a learning curve because like I said, you know, for the longest time, you know, for 4 years on this channel, I only had 4,000, 3,000 subscribers or less. And so there was really not a lot of criticism. And I would, you know, and I not that I can't take it. I like criticism, but it's just you rarely got any. And then all of a sudden, your videos start getting popular. They start going to a whole new crowd. And then all of a sudden, you start getting these outside people who have never seen your channel. And sometimes the comments are hateful. And hateful doesn't bother me. Ignorant bothers me because, you know, there's so many people who will come to the channel and just say, like, well, for example, you know, the big one I'm struggling with right now is my putting green. So many people will come to the channel and just be like, well, that putting green is artificial turf. So there's no way you could accurately know. I've been testing on that green for 5 years and it has 100% accuracy. And the reason I say that is because not once in 5 years, not once out of 175 golf balls tested, have I ever tested the ball on that green and then took it to the course and had a different outcome. If I test it on there and it's 40%, sometimes I take it to the course. Occasionally it might be 45% spin or it might be 35% spin, but it's around that. I've never had a golf ball on that turf not have any spin, not have any checkup, and then go to the course and just, oh my goodness, you know, this ball checks up insanely. It's never happened. It's 100% accurate for me. So that's why I use it. But then these people will see that and they'll come on there and, you know, they'll trash and stuff. And so I learned a few months ago you can't keep everybody happy. I just try to keep the majority happy, and especially people who have been with me a long time, people who have, you know, my loyal followers who have been here for a year plus. You guys obviously hold seniority. Your opinions hold more value because you've been with me since I was nothing. So obviously I value that. So not that I don't love you new guys too. Of course I do, but it's just, you know, there's been a lot of people here who have left thousands of comments and thousands of, you know, likes and, you know, emails, and they've sent me balls. And so, you know, you can't make everyone happy. You just have to try to do the best that you think's going to do and move on, you know. Just popped down to Orlando last weekend for a quick golf trip, rented clubs. They gave me the speed softballs, weren't too bad. Yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad at all. Yeah, those irons are hot too. Yeah, next time you're in the Orlando area, Sean, hit me up because I'm only about 50 minutes from Orlando. I'm not too far at all. Yeah, golf shoes are comfortable, especially if you buy a really nice pair nowadays, like you know, the box toe ones. Excuse me, the box toe ones that, you know, they got the soles from the Good Feet store, whatever. Those are amazing. FootJoys are always awesome. Like there's some really good golf shoes out there now that are just really like you can wear them to the grocery store. You know, they're that comfortable. Yeah, Craig. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see your comment, but yeah, who the hell is playing around barefoot? What a savage! That's what I'm thinking. I can't imagine somebody pulling up and just being like, "Let's go, boys." You know, what tee box we playing from? And he's just barefoot like that. Oh, Lord. Professionally, of course, my friend, with toes, feet visible. Adidas Code Chaos are the most comfortable. Adidas does make some pretty good ones. Adidas was a big popular, well, they were our partner when I was at Cabot. And so Cabot, or excuse me, I can't talk. Adidas would come down all the time in like their headquarters and stuff, and they'd show us things. And Adidas is actually a really good company. I was actually really surprised. I always assumed they were just like any other sport, generic or whatever. But after talking to the people behind it and seeing what they do kind of behind the scenes, I'm actually really impressed with Adidas. I think they're a good company. Do you think that changing equipment every 6 months as a pro makes it really hard to get to know your equipment? And if so, can it be why tour pros have bad stretches? Yeah, absolutely. Look at Rory when he switched from the Nike stuff to TaylorMade the first time. Uh, he had he had a heck of a time. Like Rory went on that big run when he had Nike, and then he switched, and then I mean everything. He signed that big deal with TaylorMade. He got the TP5 ball instead of a Nike ball, or maybe he was using a Pro V1. I can't remember. All goes down. Look at Ricky Fowler, same thing. Ricky Fowler switched to those Cobra Ricky Fowler irons, the ones that were straight up like so thin they looked like a practice club or like a. I mean, no one could hit him. Ricky couldn't even hit him, and he didn't even make a cut for like 2 years. It felt like switches, and then the first tournament he was in when he switched, he ended up like in the top 10 or something. Like it absolutely happens, and that's why if you're going to be a tour pro and you're going to sign with a company, you need to make sure that their stuff is actually really good for you. And I would only sign a 1 year deal. I understand there's a lot of more money. Hey, they offered me 5 years. If I was a tour pro, I'd be like 1 year contract because I want to be able to renew it at the end of the year. I don't want to get caught with my pants down where it's like, okay, now your stuff isn't working for me anymore. I have to use it. I don't have a choice. I haven't cracked a top 10, in 2 years, and I can't, you got to be really careful with that for sure. I don't think we as average golfers notice it as much because we look at equipment a little differently than tour pros do. But if you're a tour pro and you're dialed in, everything's like, right, this is my club. This is how far it goes. If I take a little off, this is how far it can absolutely change it. And having to go back into the lab and refigure all that's it's a mess. Um, Sorry, hold on. When we get some on course content this year for sure. I'm working on it. It just I had on course content when my hard drive went out a month ago. It took everything with it. I had like 2 or 3 vlogs that were almost done, and all the video got lost. So I have to redo it, but it's coming this year for sure. By revolving, I mean changing maybe the cause of bad play and slumps. Yeah. Again, it's everything I said still applies there. Super excited for tomorrow. Me too. Dude, you have close to half a baseball stadium worth of subscribers by basically only reviewing golf balls. You can't control the algorithm and all that crap. Your channel will continue. Yeah, and it's done really good. One thing I'm really proud of my channel, and this is important. This is important. This is why I want to say this. I'm very proud of my channel because I never went the clickbait method. And when I started my channel, I said, I don't want to be clickbait. If I can't get the subscribers by doing what I want to do, I don't want it, and you'll notice every review I do is, 2025 Wilson Triad golf ball review. That's the name of the title, right? There's no clickbait there. That's straight up just when you click on that video, you know what you're getting into. Hey, this is a Wilson Triad review. You know what I mean? I can't freaking stand. I mean, it just infuriates me when I watch these videos. I don't watch them. I'm sorry. When I see these thumbnails and the guy's, holding a golf ball, the golf ball's blacked out, it has a big question mark over it, and the title of the video is "These golf balls changed my life." And the guy's like, just straight up like what, just eyes, googly eyes. They'll like Photoshop. They don't tell you anything else about it. So you click on it, and then it's like, hey guys, if you clicked on this video, this golf ball changed my life. And this golf ball, you may not have heard of it, is this. And then when you hear the name, then you're like, okay, do I actually want to watch this review or not? It's clickbait. I can't stand it. Nothing against those who use it. I understand there's people who use it. Good for them. God bless them. But I never wanted my channel to be like that. I wanted people to watch it because that's what they wanted to see. And that's why I'm successful right now in my eyes. Because when I, like, people all the time will ask me what my RPM is and like what my stats are on YouTube, and I tell them, and they're like, wow, that's phenomenal. And I'm like, well, when people click on my videos, they know what they're getting into. So they watch them. You know, it's not complicated. Like when someone clicks on 2025 Wilson Triad golf ball review, they know, okay, this is a golf ball review. They can see that it's 20 minutes long. They know it's a full review on this golf ball. There's no surprises. Whereas if I did something like, you know, oh, this golf ball could beat the Pro V1, and then have like me, you know, with my tongue out, it's just like, you know, yeah, I'm going to get a lot more views, but a lot of people are just going to click on and then click off. And I don't want that. I don't want to come across as that way. And that's why I'm as straight up as I can possibly be. Anyway, sorry for that rant, but I'm proud of myself for sticking with that for 5 years. I've even hesitated on making top 10 videos because I'm like, is that kind of clickbaity? And now I've realized it's not, because that's what you guys want. Like I get all these requests, like, hey, do top 5, two-piece golf balls. And so if that's the case, I'll do them. It's not clickbait if people are requesting them. But I felt for a long time, I was like, man, am I clickbaiting this? Like, if I'm just making top 5s and top 10s all the time, am I really? I don't know. But like that's how serious I am about it. So I appreciate that comment. Sam Snead and John Daly play barefoot, and they're two of the GOATs, baby. So, you know, why wouldn't I want to be like them? Adidas Boost Tour 360 are my go-to. Yeah, again, Adidas is, I'm telling you, they're doing their thing. I seem to always end up with Adidas golf shoes. Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm glad a lot of people like them because I see some good stuff. I don't comment much, but your genuineness is what makes me watch your video. But thank you, I appreciate that, and that's what I just try to be. I want you guys to want this channel because you like what's on it. I don't want you to ever question about what you're signing up for. That's all. I really don't. I don't want you guys to ever be like, is Nick selling out? Is Nick showing favoritism, or is Nick, is he not being his real self? The only thing I will tell you that is different from me than in real life is that I keep this channel very family friendly. I keep it G-rated, family friendly. Now, am I a sailor? Depends on how good I'm playing golf. Man, I'm just kidding. But if you met me in real life, it would be more like PG-13 or R. I keep it G on the channel for the family and all that, but like that's the only thing. But that's because I believe, again, professionalism. If I'm on this, there might be kids watching. You might want to watch this with your family. I'm not going to put that kind of stuff on there. But if we ever played golf in real life, you better believe I'm taking like those mini fireball shots, and we're going to have a good time. Like, again, conservative good time. I'm a good boy most of the time, but I like to have fun too. So that's the only thing that's even kind of different. But I try to be genuine. I really do. I play the Wilson Zip. What do you all play? I can tell you what I play. I played today the Vice Pro, and hadn't played it in a while, but I picked it up again and played it. Phenomenal ball. It's just old trusty. I can always count on it. Max Hama isn't doing too great now with new gear. Yeah, it happens. It happens to a lot of golfers. They play with new gear and it could not be for them. It might not be their cup of tea. It just might not be good gear. I think that Rory playing the TP5 hinders him. I really do. I think if he played a different golf ball, not going to mention one in particular, but I think if he tried and did a golf ball fitting and was able to choose a new golf ball, I think he'd do better. Just my opinion. Clickbait should lower your credit score. Oh, man. Yeah. What putters do you game? So I have 2 putters that I use. One for testing golf balls. It's actually my I have it right over here. It's my wooden one. I have a wooden mallet style putter that was, is a review. They made it for me and sent it to me. I love that thing. The craftsmanship, the just different style of feel and sound, but it's actually a really nice putter. It actually is one of the most forgiving putters I've ever had. But on the course right now, I'm using this PXG 1942 or V42 style putter. It just has this feel I can't get out of my head. Every time I try to put it out of the bag, that feel comes back, and I'm just like, no, I got to have that PXG, the distance control. It's just such an amazing putter. I can't put it down. So, like, those are my two favorite putters. And I wish I could play the wooden one. I really do. I love that thing, but the PXG just barely beats it. I'm the guy who made my first par the other day playing a Vice Pro Air off your recommendation. Haven't played a year yet. Oh, yeah. Hey, I remember you, Hunter. Yeah. Good to see you on here, man. I'm glad you got that. I'm still waiting on when you get your first birdie. Make sure you tell me. Yeah, that Vice Pro Air. I have some of those too, but now with it getting hot in here in the summer, it's starting to get like 80, 90 degrees, and so I got to just play the Pro. But yeah, Vice Pros. I mean, Vice. It's amazing to me that Vice continues to be underrated because I think that anybody who um, is an average golfer or is a club golfer or whatever, I don't know how you couldn't at least try them. You know what I mean? Like, because at this point, there's so many people who love them, and the reviews have all been fantastic. They've been on, top 5 both times I've done my top 100 list. I'm surprised that there aren't more people being like, you know what? I do love my X golf ball or whatever, my Pro V1 or my Callaway Chrome Soft, but for $40, I got to try and just see, and just try it out and see. And there's so many people who I've talked to who are still like, nah, I haven't played them. It's not my cup of tea. What, you haven't played them? And well, yeah, but just the logo, the youngness. I like my traditional old golf ball. And I'm like, I'd want to save money, but that's just me. I found a Vice Pro with paint splatter. It's a pretty good ball. Yeah, absolutely. I love that drip. The drip's kind of worn out its welcome. Like at first it was really unique, but now you see all these different companies making different ones. And now I'm kind of like, I see the splatter and I'm like, But I love they have the hue one. It's like the two-tone yellow and orange. It's the Vice Pro Plus. That thing's sexy. I like that a lot. I still have 2 feet of snow in yard. Oh no. Mr. G, where are you from? Where do you live? You can just tell me the city or the area or whatever. I gotta know. Because today was 72 here and it was cold. We were complaining that it was cold. I went to work this morning at 6 a.m. It was 54 degrees. I about walked out. I was about to tell my guys, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I got to get home. Like 54 is too. Shut the course down. Now, by the time I got off work and went golfing, it was 1 o'clock. So then it was 72, and it was actually really nice. But anyway, why don't we see more Vice on tour? The Pro Plus is awesome. Because of the manufacture process. Vice is pretty good, but tours don't want pretty good. And also tours are looking for money. Make no mistake. I mean, that's part A and part B of it. Tours, if they have someone offer them money, which Titleist offers, I think almost everybody who comes on tour a contract. Sometimes they won't take it, but I'm pretty sure they offer almost everybody some type of contract. But if you can play a specific ball, think about it. You're a new golfer. You've just come into PGA. You've never made any money. And now all of a sudden Titleist is like, hey, we'll pay you $50,000 a year to play our golf ball. Well, now it doesn't matter how good of golf you play because you've already secured your salary for the year. Vice doesn't have the ability to do that. That's why they keep their prices low. So that's why we just don't see them on tour. Now that it's in the 70, 80 in Arizona, I've been playing with the Vice Pro Plus. So much forgiveness and longer. Yeah, I love that ball, man. I'm telling you, that whole Vice lineup's a thing of beauty. Top of Lake Superior. Yeah, so that's Mr. G. God bless you, man. Someone's got to live up there. It just can't be me because I'm a wimp. I hate the cold. 2 feet of snow in April. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. No. The wind coming off that lake, it cuts you in half like a knife. I personally do love the drip. I do like the TaylorMade Speed Soft ink. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that Speed Soft, I'll tell you what, that Speed Soft last year really surprised me. The feedback, the sales. TaylorMade has a winner with that one. I live in New York and public courses aren't even open yet. Oh, dang, Jeff. Yeah, I do remember those days in Missouri. It wasn't as bad, but because we would see courses open in March in Missouri. But I do remember, that January and February, and then I don't know if you guys have this, but we would have those days like every once in a while in a blue moon, February, we'd have like a 60-degree day, and you'd call the golf course. They'd answer and be like, "Hey, are you guys opening up for one day just for today?" And a lot of the time they would. If the weather was up, they'd be like, "Yeah, we're open today only. Like, come in." And those were good times. Wilson Staff is the best brand for the money. I don't know about best for the money, but Wilson Staff is an amazing brand, and I'm a firm believer. I think they have the best tour ball on the market as far as your Pro V1, Chrome Soft, Chrome Tour, Strixon, all those your tour balls. I think that Wilson is the best based on human testing and robotic testing. So I think they're phenomenal, and their clubs are still so classy and so sexy. I just wish they were a little more forgiving. I mean, they do. I know Wilson has a forgiving set, but they're like blades that are like really classy. I wish those were available in that style, like in a forgiving Dum Dum Club, because then I could use it. But I like to look from afar. We still got all the seasons last week in Indy tornadoes. Oh, I don't miss that. And sleet, icy rain. Don't miss that. High 60s today and tomorrow. Bonkers. Yeah, I do remember that. I remember one time I was playing, or I was working, excuse me, in a bank, and it was in Missouri. And when I woke up and when I went to work, it was 33 degrees. We had actually had a little bit of snow flurries on the way to work. A heat front was coming through, and by the time I got off, it was 77. And I remember it because I was at the computer and I was doing computer work. And I was standing up, and I'd been standing still for like a couple hours because I'm doing work. Well, the temperature had went from 32 to 75 in that time frame. And you're just standing there. Well, that pressure change. And I remember I legit turned to walk till I go to the bathroom and just fell straight down because my like joints had locked up because all that pressure change, and I hadn't moved in 2 hours, and it was so funny. Like, I'll never forget it. Like, everyone was laughing, but I was laughing. It was pretty funny. But like, it's crazy how it can change that fast, and all the air pressure and everything. Sometimes it kind of makes you sick. Like, it's insane. Just got some 5A mint Z stars because my beginning of season slice is full of effect. Hope to keep losing them right. Yep. Well, yeah, they'll do that. Z stars do have a little bit of side spin, but if you're getting them for a decent price, then that's okay. You'll be better in the long run. Yeah, I can't beat $1.50 a ball. That's good for that. Our weather down here in the south is bipolar. You can wake up in a hoodie and jeans by lunchtime, being flip flops and shorts. Yep, that's true. It's down here too. Of course, our tolerance in the South is different too. I wake up in 50 degrees and I'm like, okay, I need an overcoat and I need, under thermal gear, and I need, a full face mask, and I need all this stuff for 50-degree weather. Whereas up north, in Wisconsin, 50 degrees, they're sunbathing. So, I mean, it's crazy how different it is even in the same country. Whatever happened to Hogan golf balls back in the day? They were very popular. Hogan is one of those companies that switched owners so many times that like some of that stuff just gets lost in it. They are coming out with a golf ball this year. They are coming out with a new Hogan golf ball. It's a 4-piece. It's going to be very traditional. They told me about it when I was at the PGA show, and I'm excited about it. They said they would send one to me when time came near. So we'll see how it is, but they're coming back out with one, so that's kind of exciting. I have one of the old ones from 2010, like the last year they made it. It's like the Hogan. It looks good. It's a nice looking golf ball. That Hogan with the cursive looks good on it. So I'm hoping they bring it back with a good classy look. I played the Callaway Hexsoft and the new E6 Soft. Both seem to perform well. Callaway is extremely soft feeling. I will be doing a Hex Soft review. I've had many requests for it. It's time to finally do it. E6 Soft. I have the new one. I haven't tested it yet, but I'm going to, so we'll see. Will iometer bounce off the pin more than urethane? Yeah. Interesting question. So it's very minimal, but technically urethane will go in the hole more because urethane is softer. Iometer is very hard, so believe it or not, and again, this is all very marginal. I don't know if your question is sarcastic or not. I'm sorry, but it is very marginal. If technically, if you hit that flag, you have a little more forgiveness with the urethane because it'll absorb the shock a little bit more marginally. Whereas iometer and Surlyn are very hard, they're more durable, so it will hit and it probably will bounce off. My advice: don't get into that situation in the first place, but hey, sometimes the flag's your friend. I've used it many times. Back in the day, I always like Stratator and the Noodle. Yeah, it's there's some old golf balls, which by the way, I want to know. I'll mention this again in a different video. I'm thinking about having a Golf Ball Addict Golf Ball Hall of Fame. So this will be for golf balls that are no longer in production. I want to do it fan voting style, and I want to do it where like kind of like sports Hall of Fame is, where like you have a bunch of candidates and you only get 3 votes, and so you can vote them, and then whichever 3 have the highest get in, and then the next year it can be on the ballot again, and then you know what I mean, that kind of style. But like I think of like the 2022 Callaway Chrome Soft, that deserves to like be in a Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Because it was an amazing golf ball. Now they've changed it. It's not great. I would love to put that like, on my website in the Hall of Fame and have a voting. And anyway, that's just an idea. I've been rubbing around the old noodle. So let me know how you guys like that. Yeah, Hunter, I'm excited to try that one as well. I pounced 4 iometers off the pin round 1. That's why I asked. Okay, so you're coming off a little hot. Okay, if it's a legit question, then technically, yes, urethane you will have a little bit more forgiveness for. Like the Members Mark golf ball or something like that. It's a soft urethane. That technically will absorb into the pin a little bit more. So that's a lot of times to bounce off the pin. But if you do have that as an issue, then yeah, absolutely. What's your thoughts on the Bridgestone E12? I mentioned it earlier in this video that I was testing the new model. I'll say this about Bridgestone. Okay. I don't want to give the reviews away, but I'll kind of give you some juicy info here. I'm tired of Bridgestone lying to me. And I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, or I don't know if it's just a sick joke to them. I don't know. But at this point, I've tested, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, probably 13 to 14 different Bridgestone balls. And consistently, I'd say 10, 11 out of those 14, Bridgestone tells me that the golf ball does A, B, and C. And instead it does D, E, and F. If it tells me it launches high, it launches low. If it tells me it has tons of spin, it has no spin and has all distance. If it tells me it's all distance, it has no distance and has, in testing these new E12 models, I ran into some of that again. And the whole time I'm sitting there looking at the notes and I'm comparing it, I'm thinking, why is that only Bridgestone balls? They tell me they do A and they do B. They tell me they do C and they do D. And it's like, I just can't, like, how do you even review a golf ball from that standpoint? Even if the numbers are good, do you knock it because it doesn't do what it's supposed to? Or do you, like, I've only had that issue with Bridgestone. And at this point, like I said, I don't know if it's a sick joke. I don't know if they're just standing back there like, hey, tell him it launches high. Yeah, it launches high. Yeah. He believed us. I launched low, loser. Like, that's what it feels like they're doing. And I don't get it. And so that's all I'll say about those balls, and we'll go from there. But I don't get it. Original Wilson Zip 3-piece should be a contender. Oh, yeah, I never got to try those, but I didn't realize Zip made a 3-piece. That's pretty cool. For you, if you can improve one part of your golf game, what would you want to improve on the most? Right now, it would be off the tee box just because I'm struggling with it, but I am getting better. My second would be putting. I would really love to become a phenomenal putter. I'm an okay putter right now. I would love to be like great at it because that can shave so many strokes off your game. And definitely, if I wasn't so bad at the driver right now, but I've corrected it. I've taken a lesson or two. But just to correct it, I would say, yeah, for sure. Either putting or driving. Right now it's just driving because of the position I'm in. What would you prove? I got my only hole in one with the Wilson Ultra 500 competition many moons ago. Yeah. So that's another thing too. You know, being able to take golf balls even that I haven't heard of and put them, like, if you want to nominate them and put them on that list, you guys can vote for them. And if it gets in, it gets in. You know, it doesn't have to be just my opinion. This is a community, like we all. So it doesn't have to just be something I've tested. So I like that. I like everyone's opinions on that. And Hall of Fame would be cool. Bridgestone is a joke. Different people marketing them than the ones making the. I don't know if I just can't see that, or maybe making them. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I really don't. I don't know what the issue with the Bridgestone balls is. I told many of you that I tested a Bridgestone driver on the PGA show when I went, because they had like this Japan only, forged driver. It was the best driver I ever hit. I think it's like $900. And I told the guy, I was like, if you bring it here, I'll buy it. I don't care if it's 900. I'll find a way. I'll sell a kidney. I don't care. I'll buy it. Like, that's how good it is. So it's not that Bridgestone isn't capable, but it's just I don't get the whole golf ball thing. Like, why is every golf ball the opposite? Have you seen the new sugar golf balls are out? I have. We're going to review them. I got a hold of the guy. We talked yesterday. He is sending them to me Monday. I will have the two new models, and I also still have their other one that we haven't reviewed yet. So that's going to be awesome. It'll be like a three-part video right there. Well, guys, it's been an hour and 6 minutes. I'm going to hop off here. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate you guys being a part of this. Love doing these Q&As. I love that you love being a part of them. Guy gave me a TP5 to give him my PXG back. Darn straight, dude. Darn straight. I'm trying the Strixon 333 and Q-Star. Yep, those are good ones too. I think we're going to have a Strixon week this year. We're going to do it because I still have like 10 golf balls from Strixon. I think we're going to do a Strixon week. So, guys, I appreciate you. You rock. In 60 degree, I've done interesting. I'll think about that. Have a good night. Yep. All right. Appreciate you guys. Love the love. I'll see you soon. Either I don't know if I'll have it out tomorrow, but Monday for sure I'll have the next review. So we'll see that then. And sorry about the Titleist TrueFeel thing, dude. That messed me up. I still can't believe that. I can't believe I reviewed the 22 model. Like, that's so funny. A whole review. If they still sold it, I would just put it out. I'd be like, hey, this is the 22 model, but hey, we'll compare. But like, useless. All right, good night, guys. Appreciate you.